Right, so welcome back to My Team Career Mode. It has been 2 weeks since I last visited this series, and today we are going to the legendary Spa-Francorchamps. Now, last episode in Hungary, I did get a quite disappointing finish of P15. However, I did a fantastic overtake on the final lap of the race, sending it like I'm silly, like Daniel Ricciardo in his prime. And now we're here at Belgium for hopefully, you know, a very good weekend, I'm praying. Right, and here we go for Q number 1. I'm going to be doing 2 laps in this session, and you're going to have to give me at least a few laps to get used to this car again. Of course, it has been a long time since I've driven it. I'm more used and attuned to the McLaren I've been driving in my Senna career mode. So, let's just see what I can do in lap number 1 of this qualifying session. Whoa! Way too late around turn 1. That's fine. We always use this first lap to sort of learn the track, and then we know what to do on the next lap. Make our way up through, I can never pronounce it right, through Rouge and then Radion. Put the overtake on. I know you actually can't use too much down here. You can only use about that much before you run out by the end of the lap. And a 31.4 was set by Tsunoda. We are actually half a second up on that. I feel like I'm going to struggle a little bit through the middle sector though, because I'm just a bit crap at this. Nothing to do with the sub, nothing to do with the car, it's just me. But we'll keep making our way. It's not too bad. Now we have Pouon. Avoid that inside curve, because that will literally send you off into a tree in like Venezuela or something. And then you really have to avoid the inside curves. They're really horrible. You go on them by the smallest inches and they will just send you off, and that won't be a good thing. Formula 1 cars don't work very well when they're wrapped around a tree. We actually lose a little bit of time to Tsunoda through Sector 2, but we are basically equal through there, so that's not brilliant, but ain't bad at all, really. I'm definitely running a more straight line speed setup. I am some 10-15 kilometers an hour quicker than everyone else down the main straight. Round the final corner of the bus stop chicane, and we are away. And that is going to be a P11. Okay, that's actually pretty good, especially because with an optimized lap, there's another 2 or 3 tenths in there. Okay, that's good. I like that. Thank you. Nice one. Let's get back to the garage, put some new boots on, try and improve the lap time and secure a Q2 spot. Nice one. Right, slight issue. I've got quite a bit of traffic. I have got one of the Mercedes straight ahead of me. I've also got a Sauber right behind me, so this is going to be quite tricky. Right, so I need to brake considerably earlier into turn 1, get to the inside and then get that exit. Nice, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Use a little bit of overtake on the exit to get that little bit of a boost. And actually, this might not be so bad, because I can get a nasty slipstream down this straight off this Mercedes. Oh my, look at that. That is gorgeous. Thank you very much, Mercedes. I don't know which one it is. What is going up here? We've got 2 cars wheel-to-wheel battling. And the Williams is almost going to block me, as is the McLaren, but we make our way through all right. That was very, very scary. And we have found 4 tenths through Sector 1, but I've gone wide through there. I need a good exit. That is exactly what I don't get. Don't worry, we carry on. Right on the edge, a little bit on the gravel, that's fine. Now I need to make sure this corner is very, very strong. I need to sort of go like that, and then, yeah, that's a lot better. I was going a bit too wide on my first lap, and how I usually drive, I have to go a bit more inward. Now again, avoid that inside curve, a little bit wide. Oh, very wide, that's going to lose me a chunk of time. Actually, not too much. Wow, I'm horrible. And we are now half a second up through Sector 2. Wow, okay. I knew there was some time in there, but not half a second. That's a bit ridiculous. Onto the exit of the bus stop chicane. Use the ERS. Use the overtake. Wow. Okay. I was not expecting that at all. How am I going to go P3? That's just ridiculous. Like I said, I knew there was lap time in there, but half a second? Putting myself P3 very, very comfortably into Q2. Alright, nice one. Thing is as well, there is like even more lap time in there that I know I can go and find. My Sector 2 was actually pretty horrible, but I reckon most of that lap time did come from the slipstream I got from that Mercedes. I got about 1/10 to 2/10 from that, but still, my Sector 2 was horrible. I went wide in most corners, but anyway, we're now here in Q2. We're going to speed the clock up, ready to be doing one lap. I'd like to save a set of tyres for the race. But honestly, there's a very realistic chance I can get into Q3 here, and if I do that, I won't have any softs for the race. Once again, I've got a bit of traffic, but as we saw from the previous lap in Q1, that's not actually a bad thing, because you get that slipstream around Erosion Radion. So let's begin this lap in Q2 and see if we can do a miracle run to get into Q3. No! Oh, poo! The McLaren's got out my way before Erosion Radion, so I'm not going to get that gorgeous slipstream. Oh. Alright, into Sector 1, or Sector 2, sorry. I keep messing this part of the track up. That's a lot nicer. Don't lose the rear. Swing her in like we're silly. That is a lot better. Now, here I kept going too wide. I'm just going to brake a bit more. Stick to the inside, get on the throttle early. That's nice. That's a bit too wide. Still not awful though. Right, now come on, make this sector clean. Futurus Tributus, you can do this. Here we go. Someone just had a who's that? No, I got distracted. Okay, that's still not horrible. At least I was to the inside. Someone's locked up and gone completely off track through there. Not great for them. Good for me though, as I'm 3.5 tenths up on Alexander Albon. And it is again a horrible lap. I just, for the life of me, cannot keep it clean. Into the bus stop chicane. I braked a bit too late through there. That's fine. I got a good exit. Go on. Nice. Across the line. Is it going to be enough for Q3? That would be pretty insane. Oh my goodness. And it is. And it is. Somehow, I have gone and got myself an entrance to qualifying 3 here in Spa by, 1/10. That is wild. And I don't remember what my lap time was in Q1, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was considerably worse, because that didn't feel any better, but let's get to Q3. Downside is, I'm not going to have any tyres for the race, like softs, which is probably what I'm going to be doing, soft medium, so we'll figure that out. I think qualifying is more important at this stage, you know what I mean? Right, now for the first time in this entire session, I actually have a clean track ahead of me, and realistically speaking, if I can just keep it clean, there is a decent position waiting for me, a P6, maybe even a P5. But I just, for some reason, cannot keep my laps clean. But here we go. Let's do this thing. Come on, car. Pretty much the maximum through turn 1. Little bit of overtake on the exit to get that boost. Now we can make our way up through Erosion Radion for the final time in qualifying. Unfortunately, once again, no slipstream, but our straight line speed should be mighty nonetheless. I mean, look, 330, 340, that's lovely. And through Sector 1, we are 2.5 tenths up. Come on, baby, let's go. Here's where I've been struggling the whole session. Kept it nice to the inside, that is lovely. Little tap on the brakes, early on the exit, that is very, very strong. Come on. Actually went flat through poo on there as well. Holy moly, I'm cooking. Now, avoid that inside curve, braking super late. Avoid it. Avoid this one as well. On the exit early. Brake a bit earlier. Get to the apex. Oh, I've gone off a little bit. No, I haven't actually. 2 tenths down on Checo. That isn't horrible. Making our way to the bus stop chicane. Braking a bit earlier and going a lot wider. Taking a much wider line in. Get the exit. Very good exit. Across the line, I think it might just be a P10. No! Oh, we actually beat a couple of cars! Yay! Oh, that's a quality result. Okay, you know what? In hindsight, maybe I didn't need to use that extra set of softs. I probably could have just used. Although, look at that. I only beat them by a couple hundredths, but you know, they're probably going to get past me in the race anyway, because they're faster cars. I mean, let's be honest here, I've got the worst, at best, second worst car on this grid, so put it P8 is absolutely ridiculous. It's like when George Russell got P7 in Britain in 2021, or actually a better example, got P2 here. You know, it's unrealistic. It shouldn't happen, but it has happened. Now, will I drop back in the race? Absolutely. It just depends how much I'll drop back. That is key. But we go to Sunday, starting P8. Wonderful result. Let's have it. And here we are on Sunday. Looks like we've got overcast weather, but, you know, cloudy, but dry, which might actually be prime conditions. I think. I might be wrong. Need a Formula 1 expert on that one, but, you know, as long as it's not raining, I'm not really bothered what the weather is, you know what I mean? Now, one thing that I didn't think about is that grid penalties is a very realistic thing at this track. A lot of drivers in real life do take engine penalties and, well, power unit penalties at this track because of the overtaking opportunities that it offers. You know, like Max Verstappen in 2023, I think it was, or 22, I don't remember. You know, when he started P15 and he was P1 by lap, like, 7 or something ridiculous like that. So, let's see. I think I am just starting P8, though. Yes, we are. Okay, fine. So, we are going to go on the soft tyre, but it is going to be used, which is, of course, quite a big disadvantage when you're doing such a short stint. I mean, we're only doing 6 laps. 43% tyre wear before we go onto the medium tyre. Honestly, if my softs get really, really bad by lap sort of 6, I might even consider coming in way earlier, like lap 4 or 5, and bolting on the hards. But we'll see when we get to that stage. Let's lower the fuel by a considerable amount, and I think we're ready to race here in Spa in my team career mode. And here we go for the Belgian Grand Prix. Now, my starts have been very poor on this game. Let's see if I can have a good one. Here we go. That looks... You know what? That's alright. If I could just stay to the inside, avoid going up Perez's behind, actually swinging one to the outside of Mercedes next to me, and that's a gorgeous exit. And we now go wheel to wheel with Lewis Hamilton. Bit of contact going on up ahead, but we are maintaining position. And we've actually caught up. We're very quick. I'm going alongside Lewis Hamilton. Here comes Fussimus Crimiters the third. It's getting a bit wild up here. We've got the inside line on Hamilton. We have the outside of Sergio Perez. I've almost lost the end. Contact with Perez. I don't know who to blame for that one, but at the end of the day, I've got ahead. It's a lap 1 incident. We'll go to the VAR room with that one, and I'll make a decision. That's another way of saying I don't care. I'm in P5. And, you know, I said my starts have been poor this year. Oh, that's got a bit wrong. I have gained 3 places off the start in this race. Gorgeous stuff. Now, it doesn't take the biggest of brains to figure out that I am going to drop back massively, and I am going to lose all these positions eventually. It's just how long can I hold on for is the thing. You can already see Charles Leclerc already 1.3 seconds ahead. And it is obviously a Cardiff. Like I said, I'm in the worst or second worst car on the grid. Evidenced by that is my teammate already losing out to P21. But yeah, you know, we crossed the line to begin lap 2 in P5. Look at that. Now, of course, DRS is now enabled. My aim is to not lose 2 positions, just the 1. Of course, I am going to probably lose out to Perez, seeing as how close he is to me. But I'm going to try and not be done by Hamilton. Or actually, to be fair, my straight line speed is so good, I might be able to avoid getting done by Perez. And I am. Look at that straight line speed. And I suppose that's the thing. These cars, they can't overtake me through the corners. There is simply not space to. And down the straight, my straight line speed is way better than them, even with DRS. Max Verstappen already is just gone, do you know what I mean? Like, he's out of there. Here comes Checo Perez. He's actually going to go to the outside trying a move. He's actually going to ram me up the Aris, which isn't ideal. I was sort of hoping to let him by there so that I could get him back with DRS and also just have that DRS to defend with, but that isn't quite going to work out. And I don't have that much ERS to use, and Perez is a lot closer this time. I need to keep slipstreaming, moving left to right. Okay, I can't do it anymore. Here comes Checo. Later on the brakes, into turn 4, 3, I don't know. And we are still maintaining position very comfortably. I bet Perez is fuming right now. There's already a 3.5 second gap to Leclerc. I'm holding him and the rest of the field up so considerably right now. It's like Fernando Alonso Monaco 22. Like, if I wasn't here, their lap times and the gaps would be so much closer, but I'm just blocking them. Because like I said, they can't overtake in Sector 2 or 3, because, you know, there's no space to. And then through Sector 1, I've got the straight line speed, even with DRS to hold them back. Then we have Hamilton going for a move on Checo, and he gets it done. Fair play, Hamilton. What a move. And then Checo sends it up the inside of Hamilton. He isn't going to be happy about that one. That is going to help me out a little bit, though. Give me an extra tenth or two. And I didn't even realise Checo's on the medium tyre. That's an interesting call. If he goes onto the soft, it's actually a good strategy, but knowing the AI, they'll go onto the hards and it will be all over for him. Right, hello Checo again. That hasn't quite worked. Oh no, it has. We go equal through turn 4. He's going to fight me, but I've got him again. I tried to, like, not use as much ERS, because I didn't think I needed to, and I was correct in that matter. I could definitely use a bit more, though. It's just that by the end of that straight, I was only left with, like, 10% ERS. I'd like to have, like, 20 or 30, so that's what I'll do. We are still chilling right now. And if you look at the track map in the bottom left of your screen, you will see how much I'm holding these drivers up. You've got me in P5, all the way back to, I would say, P16, 17 at the moment. No, actually, no, it's wait. Basically, you can see how many cars I'm holding up. It's something like 10, 11 cars. It is quite ridiculous. Hamilton and Checo fighting once again. Checo sends it up the inside once again. Does he get that place? He does. That medium tyre looking very, very strong right now. Honestly, we're on lap 5. My tyres still feel very, very good despite being fairly worn. I reckon we can do the full 6 lap that the strategy is asking me to do. Oh! 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 Sergio Perez has engine failure right behind me on lap number 6, sorry. And he is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. He has got to be the most annoyed human in the world at the moment. He got stuck behind me for the entire duration of this race. And then, when he gets a good opportunity to pass, his engine goes. Oh my goodness. What a time to be alive. And that is going to do wonders for Jack Doohan, my teammate as well, as that brings him from P22 to P21, so that's massive. Right, now I'm going to use a lot of my ERS onto the exit of this lap. So when I go into the pits, I've got a bit of a gap. My main threat right now is going to be the pits. Getting undercut or overcut. But it seems like all of my closest competitors, being the Ferraris and Mercedes that were just behind me, have all stayed out. So that's a good thing. Also, Hamilton right behind me, so he should be... Oh, actually... okay, yeah, I do come out ahead. That was scary. Right, so... We exit the pits, and we are back out onto the racetrack in P20, clear air ahead, and now we need a very solid outlap to get that undercut on Carlos Sainz. And then if that works out, it's just doing what I was already doing, using my overtake down this straight until the end of the race, keeping everyone back, and taking home a nice little P4 finish, P5 finish. Sainz comes out on the hard tyre, and yeah, now it's just doing exactly what I've been doing this entire race, which is using my overtake to keep, well, it was Perez, now it's Hamilton behind, but Hamilton has that straight line speed. I'm going to be alongside him. We go into turn, I don't know the name of it, and I managed to stay ahead. Lovely jubbly. Oh, and look at that! Carlos Sainz overtakes Lewis Hamilton. Wow, that was a fantastic move by Sainz on the hard tyre. Well done, mate. Okay, the final cars are now stopping. Mostly back markers, which, to be fair, I am as well. It's just I'm having a good performance, so... yeah, and we are back out in P5. And now it's just doing what I've been doing this entire race for the remainder of this race, which is about 6 or 7 laps of just using that overtake to stay ahead of Bosch. Right, this is interesting. Lewis Hamilton has actually overtaken me through turn 1. However, what he doesn't know, well, I'm sure he does know, he just haven't thought of it, is that now I've got DRS to sort of just go, bye, Hamilton. Hi! Nice, okay, so even though Hamilton got past me, with DRS it's very easy to get back past. We're on lap 12, nothing's really happened apart from that, and we are still looking very comfortable for an extraordinary P5 finish. Right, penultimate lap of this race. What can I do to keep this P5? I need to do exactly what I have been doing. I actually have a full ERS tank now, because, well, to be honest, Hamilton hasn't been that threatening. And him giving me DRS has helped out massively. So now I've got all the tools I need to stay ahead. Just need to avoid the slipstream a little bit. Just do this. Gorgeous stuff. Turn on hot lap. Go back to medium. And that is that. It's very, very easy. Right, let's see if Hamilton's going to send it on this lap. He's tried, and that's allowed Carlos Sainz to go for a move, but that's what Hamilton's been doing. He's been sending out the inside of the bus stop chicane. This time I'm letting no such thing happen. Carlos Sainz has actually sent it. I was not expecting that. And now we begin the final lap of this race. Here we go. Come on, car. Here comes Carlos Sainz. He's going to go to the outside. I'm actually inclined to let him by, but he's going to go for it. Now, Carlos Sainz to the outside of Urouge. He goes for it. That's very brave from Mr. Carlos. But who gets DRS? It's going to be him. That is actually a big issue. Luckily, though, I've got 90% overtake to use. The Ferrari and the Mercedes are scrapping each other. The other Mercedes are getting the mixture. They are going 3 wide, but I managed to stay in P5. And they are still going 3 wide. And that is going to give me the gap I need. What is going on behind? Holy moly. Okay. Yeah, that was wild. On the final lap of a race, 3 wide? Are you joking? David Croft would be losing his mind at the minute. But what that means for me is that I can just carry on my merry way as I keep going wide at Pouhon. I can keep going with hot lap ERS on to close out this lap and take what is a exceptional P5 finish. I mean, it was the start of the race that really got it for me. Because as you saw throughout this race, I've not really been under threat because I've got that much straight line speed with the ERS. It's just been because of that start that got me up to P5. Max Verstappen wins. Lando Norris finishes P3. I believe Charles Leclerc finished P2. Oscar Piastri P4. But Fusimus Trimitus rounds the final corner. You got to do a little skid for the boys. You know what I mean? You got to do a little skid for the boys. Anyway, that was just not, called for. But we do finish P5 in the Belgian Grand Prix. That was just unnecessary overcooking on the final corner. And there you go. P5 finish. What is that player model? I have just been scarred for life by that. But what a race. What a result. Hanging on to P5 from start to finish. That is gorgeous driving apart from the end. But you didn't see that. We'll ignore that. And that's a huge race. I said before we came here, I'm looking for a good weekend after the, not miseries, but disappointing P15 in Hungary. And that's exactly what we get. A P5. What a time to be alive. So here is your final finishing order. You already knew the top 5 because, I said it. And we have Carlos Sainz moving up 3 places to get P6, Hamilton dropping 2, Russell going up 2, Alonso up 3. Everyone gains at least 1 position because of Checo Perez's DNF, which is just tragic. He was stuck behind me for the opening 5 or 6 laps, and then when we were all about to stop, where his strategy really comes into play and goes into his advantage, his engine lets go. But I want to have a look at my lap times before I finish up this episode, because I was very impressed by my medium stint. The consistency's okay. I mean, you know, 46.1, 46 dead, 45.9, 46 dead. And then it all went a bit wrong here. I lost 7 temps and then I was back. But overall, it ain't too bad at all. So, looking at the Drivers' Championship, that is going to move us. Oh, we are still in P10. Okay, well, we're still in P10, but we have extended that gap to P11, and that's lovely. And then looking at the Constructors, we are P6. P6 is the overall target because, as you can see, Williams and Alpine and all these cars aren't really giving much of a fight. So that's the whole, you know, play. Just extend that lead into P6. We definitely aren't catching Aston Martin. But yeah, that's a massive weekend. That's going to be all from me. Thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe, all the usual stuff. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.